Hey guys, so I have put a 12 degree per side edge on this Cuterman MT5. We are going to take this and see how much rope it cuts before it no longer slices paper. Thanks very much to Brad for getting me onto this knife. Brad also sent me his Cuterman MT5. This one has a different edge on it. This one has a convex edge on it. And just before I start the test, I'll just talk about these because I did start to do a rope cut test with this, and the edge actually went really quickly, which is really interesting because it's the exact same steel. And that is the difference between a convex and a hollow edge. And I don't know what the angles are on this one either, so it could be a little bit steeper. I think it might be in the 15 realm. But anyway, the convex really did sort of round over quicker within about 70 cuts or so it was interesting to know. And really have no idea how this is going to go. I would have figured the N695 being so similar to VG10 in terms of its makeup, I think this is going to go very well. I don't know. I often rag on this steel, but then that VG10 test just changed everything for me. I think a lot of steels are just after their right angle to get their optimum performance. Yeah, I mean, VG10 is never going to be Rex 121, but you're thinking about lots of things like money, availability, resharpenability, all that sort of stuff, and yeah, things are shifting in the old noggin. That's for sure. But at any rate, what we're going to do is we're going to go and cut twisted sisal rope with this knife until it no longer cuts held paper reliably, and I'm going to see what happens when you basically take N695 steel on a Cuterman MT5 and you unleash it to the max. So there you go, folks. Eating a bit of crow here. I used to rag on these steels a fair bit. There was a few really expensive knives sold in this steel, and yeah, I mean, in my defense, you'd never get one of those expensive knives and put a hideous edge like this on it, because this is, I mean, to be honest, I don't hate it, but everyone else is like, oh, terrible. But it's a very high performing edge, so that's what matters more to me. I don't know, you into more show or shine, you into more what's under the hood, hey? But anyway, yeah, so N695 is obviously a very fine steel for taking very thin angles and cutting for a long time. At least cutting rope into wooden chopping boards instead of no longer sliced paper, because that's what these tests show. What is crazy to me is how, although these both started as pretty sharp knives, Brad's knife and my knife, this one, just from being convex, just that geometry is so important to steels. You could have, you know, this is basically done what like the N690 does with a work sharp edge, which is, even though it's at 15 degrees, it's still quite a broad convex. And so yeah, it just didn't cut that long. Whereas hollowed out, obviously still has enough integrity, malleability to withstand and not just chip off, but also not completely mushroom out and dull. 410 times, like whoa, it's just such a difference. And just so polarizing when you've got two knives of the same steel in your shop at the same time. Again, I don't know exactly what the go is with this knife. I don't know in terms of angles and stuff and finishes and whatnot. All I know is that they both started off as knives that sliced paper, and now they're both not, but this one took 70 cuts to do it, and this one took 410 cuts to do it. I'm just going to, with the aid of a diagram, I'm going to maybe have a crack at answering this. Righto, so this knife here, drawing the face first, so this is the face. So these are the primary flat grinds of the knife, right? Then this edge is like this. Sort of like... So this is the part that's maybe doing the cutting, and it's not to scale, whatever. But you can see it's kind of got cheeks that flex outwards, making curves. And I guess what a curve wants to do is continue being a curve. So you just think these curves just want to keep going out here. And as things press downwards this way, such as the rope and the fibers of the rope, the curves kind of want to get flatter and flatter. And so they kind of round over and round over and round over until you get, I guess, this sort of tip, which looks really dull and silly now, but it's still a completely fine working edge. And this is still not a dull knife. Absolutely not a dull knife, but it's just interesting. I think that's kind of what happens. Whereas this one here, bevel of a knife, this one is like this, with the curves going inwards to a sharp point there. Again, not to scale, but I think what happens is all this negative space here, there is no resistance here, so it's just this. It's like the whole, when you put a whole bunch of force into a really fine tip, and it makes the bullet, like, you know, that's why bullets with really pointy tips pierce armor, I guess. It's that. So no matter, even though there's still, you know, rope which is being pushed down this way into the edge, this negative space here, this part here, and because the steel is good at doing this and holding this part here retains its integrity because it's kind of got nowhere else to go apart from either folding or actually getting eaten away inwards like that. So I think that's what the theory is, and I think that's what's happening here. Because you've got two knives that are still very, very, very much fine working edges, but just took such different amounts of time to lose that crazy paper slicing edge versus rope. So anyway, a bit of extra theory there, I hope. I think that's how it seems to me, but yeah, interesting at anyway. I'm not an expert here, I'm just kind of making it up as I go sort of thing, really. Like, I'm just doing the tests and the data's influencing how I feel about stuff. But anyway, interesting. And thanks, Brad, for lending me this and also for getting me onto this knife, because this is a really great knife, the Cutermann MT5. Just never would have thought to pick it up, and yeah, it's excellent. And remember, convex fans, your grind is fine. It's just, this is thinking rope only, remember. For wood, it might be completely different. This is what I'm testing, rope. So rope does that to convex, which is why the workshop, when you think about it, those old workshop pages I did, back to that theory, maybe that's why they were only getting to the numbers that they got to, and why when I moved up to the Lansky and then to the Tormek, the numbers are going up so much more. Because I think it's all about the effect that rope as a medium also has on convex. Convex is still an excellent grind, in my opinion, for a lot of uses, even for everyday carry use, even for woodworking uses, for sure. I love my bark rivers in their convex grinds. But I think, in addition to probably this is quite a thick knife, and even behind the edge, the convex doesn't start until, you know, right there. Whereas, say, on my Bark River in Vanitas 4, this convex really starts all the way up here and it goes full convex all the way down the face, so it is much thinner behind the edge. I guess that's sort of how that can work and how you can still get really, really fine, long-lasting convex edges when you do like a full convex grind, which is what this one is here. So anyway, interesting food for thought there, a bit of an extra addendum to my N695 test. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.